everybody. You're looking live on tape from an absolutely gorgeous day here at Epcot. Haven't put a video up in a couple weeks, and I apologize for that. Been under the weather. Talk a little bit more about that later on. Maybe if not in this video, another. But we're here today. It's the first time I've been in a park since the 4th of July. Believe it or not, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So I'm glad to be back here at Epcot. We're going to do a little exploration of Food and Wine Festival. That's right, the 2022 edition Food and Wine Festival is going on now. First thing we're going to do is pick up a festival passport. Highly recommend you do that first time you've come to the festival. And now that this festival goes on so long and there's so many offerings, I always like to get the actual passport, kind of go through and kind of plan ahead what I want to try, mark off what I've already had. There are a number of great apps out there that include pictures of the food and pricing and what booth has what, and those are great. Call me old school, I'm old fashioned. I like having the actual passport in my hand. So to get these passports, today I came in obviously from the Skyline footage. I came in from the International Gateway. It's going to be the kiosk for the brochures will be right there at World Traveler. And if you're going in the main entrance at Epcot, the brochures should be, hadn't been there since the start of this festival. They should be somewhere near Spaceship Earth, whether it's Gateway Gifts or right when you walk in is generally where they're located. That being said, that's a huge long intro. That being said, thanks for joining me. Glad you did. Let's get to it. So like I say, here we are here at the World Traveler. We're going to walk right over here. This is also where you can redeem your Remy's treasure hunt. Which if you've never done this at Epcot, it's a pretty good time. It's $10. You do get a reward if you complete said treasure hunt. Maybe we'll do this on one of our videos at a later date. But the main thing I'm looking for over here are these bad boys. These festival passports. It's got the dates of the festival there, July 14th through November 19th. It's a pretty good sized book. It's got pictures, it's got stamps that you can do, and I'm sure Michelle and I will do the stamp game. But I do, like I said, I do like getting these every time, every different festival they come out with a new passport. And I kind of collect them, you know, because I don't collect enough things. It's been pretty busy here at the World this week. Even though it's been absolutely volcanic hot, it's generally high 90s throughout the day, and then it's rained the past 5 days right around 4 o'clock for about an hour. I was gonna go watch fireworks last night at Magic Kingdom, but the bed just, to be honest with you, the bed just felt too comfy. Now I'm seeing some queues out here, and I'm generally, got some character meet and greets. Looks like we got the Tangled girl. Can't remember her name. But this was kind of a hidden gem because you used to catch all types of characters through the International Gateway, and I'm glad to see those returning. It is hot. Did bring my umbrella not only for rain purposes, but if it starts getting super hot, I'll whip that bad boy out. It's one of those UV umbrellas. Kind of recommend those. They keep me cooler than a cooling towel or the neck fans. I've tried them all. So, just an umbrella, please. But, glad to be back in the park. Now, if you've never been to Food and Wine, all the booths are going to have kind of like a kiosk type menu. Generally speaking, they'll have 2 to 4 menu food items, then beverages with alcohol. Some will have, so we're looking at France here, some will have an extensive array of alcohol, and some will have some non-alcoholic beverages as well. But as you see, price-wise, France is one of the more pricey booths, but anywhere from $6 to $7, and the portion sizes are pretty good. That creme brulee looks delicious. We'll try that on another visit. But that is generally, if you're a food and wine festival rookie, fret not. It's pretty easy to kind of navigate. I do not believe this. I have never seen this line non-existent at the frozen slushy store in France. That's crazy. I got to make sure to tell Michelle about that, because we always joke. I mean, there's 2 lines in every Disney World I've ever been to: Disneyland, Disneyland Paris, Tokyo at Sea, blah, 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 blah. Haven't been to all those, but I can guarantee you there's a line at the Starbucks and there's a line at the frozen alcohol stand. Now this little area over here, we kind of meander. Now it's Brazil. They've been kind of using this as kind of like a cocoa inspired area for the past couple festivals. But as you see, Brazil last year actually was over on the opposite side near Spaceship Earth across the bridge. They moved it over here to that kiosk. Like I said, cocoa, generally speaking, is what it's been over with. In Belgium last year was over beside Canada, across the promenade from Canada and England in that vicinity, and it looks like they've moved over as well. Take a quick peek there. Belgium last year was our favorite booth of all because of the beer braised beef was excellent. The Belgian waffle was excellent. This was our winner last year for booth of the festival, and we shall see this year if it can retain the crown. I'm probably going to get a couple snacks today, maybe one, at least one, possibly 2, but I kind of want to save a lot of this for when Michelle and I go. It's kind of our thing. We like to try all this stuff together, and she's a great partner to split stuff with, because a lot of times we just might want a bite or 2 or just an actual sample of something, and you don't feel bad if you just take a bite and throw something away. So definitely miss her today, but unfortunately she's working. Now this isn't part of your festival. This is Spice Road Table. It is the only restaurant right now that they've read somewhere they've taken one of these restaurants out. Maybe it was Tangerine Cafe or something is getting redone. And I'm sorry, my memory is shot. But see, pretty decent crowds today. Like I said, it is super hot. Now I have heard a really good thing about this, and I think this might be my first try. Is Greece. I'm interested in that griddle cheese with honey, pistachios. That is something that sounds good. We're gonna give it a go. All right, here's what we're dealing with. We've got the griddle cheese with honey and pistachios from the Greek Pavilion. Now, as is food and wine custom, I am eating on a trash can. Wouldn't have it any other way. If you know, you know. Now this was on the Remy's Fromage Montage, so I did get a stamp, but if it's truly amazing, I'll obviously get it again with Michelle, but it's what I've heard is the best thing here, so we're gonna give that a whirl. All right, so here we go.
If you look at me, so you're gonna flash it once you...
That's pretty darn good. Taste the cheese and the pistachio and the honey. Kind of chose a poor location. We'll get into that later, but pretty good. I think it's $4.75, not a bad value. Probably get that again. We'll give the griddle cheese a 7.0. Pretty darn good. Like I said, I would get it again. Definitely have Michelle try this. 7.0. It's pretty, if you followed any of the previous food and wine reviews, you know that's a pretty good score for the griddle cheese from Greece. So final thoughts. I know I gave the score already, but I picked a spot out to eat that, and all of a sudden it got like pretty darn busy. So I felt weird like talking to my phone like this. But to recap that dish, it's really good. It's really well composed. The pistachios and nuts and cheese play well with each other, and then that honey drizzle really kind of brought it all together. 7.0, like I said, is a really strong start for this festival. To kind of explain the dish, it's basically like if you've ever made a grilled cheese at your house, and some of the cheese gets on the pan itself and gets kind of crunchy. That was kind of the crust on the cheese. They were like basically cheese discs that were just fried on a flat top, it tasted like. Topped with that honey drizzle and some chopped pistachios. Again, were really good. And for $4.75, a very good snack. So Greece. We got to try something else from there, but so far that's a pretty great start to the for the Food and Wine 2022 festival. And of course, what would a Food and Wine festival be without some merchandise? Pretty cool pins. Corksicles taking over. I saw on the brochure that the festival is sponsored by Corksicle, and man, they are taking over. See a lot of these cups. I think some of them are refillable, but a ton of good pins. Some really cool wine glasses. I don't touch wine glasses after an incident I had back in the 90s where I bought about 17 wine glasses. I do like this shirt, however. It's kind of, I don't like that collar. Not a big V collar guy, but wish they just had a plain t-shirt of that. I would definitely be a buyer. But you'll find a merchandise booth, specific festival merchandise booth, basically on both sides of the lagoon. One of them is once you cross the bridge from Spaceship Earth, across from, can't ever remember the name of that gift shop. But basically, if you're looking, you can kind of actually see it from here. If you go across the bridge from Spaceship Earth toward International Gateway or International Showcase. Sorry, I'm struggling today with my memory. Come across the bridge, it's on your right. Like if you're walking toward Canada, it's going to be right there on your right. Basically, same setup as that market there. Generally speaking, the same merchandise. Every once in a while, you will find some differences, but for the most part, no. But so far from what I've seen on merch, it's pretty typical. One thing I do like doing every year at the Food and Wine is trying stuff that's new, because there are a lot of repeat items. Obviously, if you have something that's very popular, a la the cheddar soup and the filet over a candidate from basically La Cellier. Obviously, that's a huge seller. I think everybody that comes to Food and Wine gets that cheddar cheese soup. And it is good. I'll probably have it at some point. But I like trying stuff that's brand new, and that is, don't recall seeing that Griddle Cheese. Not to say I hadn't missed it. I don't know, leave it in the comments. If that's an item that's been featured before in previous iterations of this festival, let me know. But those folks that are familiar with the geography here at Epcot see that I'm winding my way back to International Gateway, because I'm going to have to cut it a little bit short. I do have a doctor's appointment today that I got to get back for. I parked at Hollywood, so it's about 25 minutes to get from where I'm located back to Hollywood. Another 8-minute drive to my house, get changed up and get ready to go see the doctor. But be patient. This is just the first of many videos from this year's festival. This is my favorite festival. I guess everyone, or I won't say everyone, but judging by attendance and judging by popularity, and they keep extending this festival longer and longer. So it tells me A, it's very popular. B, they do really good sales-wise. And the food it's always a little bit better to me than the other festivals. Nothing against Flower and Garden, nothing against holidays. But I mean, Food and Wine Festival, Epcot, it's just meant to be. It's just such a great festival. It is my favorite festival here at the parks. It's a gorgeous day. But we're gonna start heading out. I'll give you a little wrap up and a little preview of things to come. And right on cue, as I'm walking out the International Gateway, I do see a pretty unique character, and that is going to be Chef Daisy in her Food and Wine outfit. That's kind of rare. But like I said, pre-COVID, you could walk back to the beach club or yacht club if you're staying over here and really catch characters like all three here. Usually 3 of them in a row, and it was usually the Fab Five in some iteration, but pretty cool. All right, back at Hollywood here. I think that's gonna do it for today. Have an appetizer, if you will, in the Food and Wine 2022. We'll definitely be back many times. Michelle will be with me, I'm sure, for the majority of those. So you got that to look forward to. Also coming up, we're gonna do some new character meet and greets that are back. Kind of went away with COVID and now they're back, so that's a good thing. Probably hit a couple of those in the next few upcoming episodes. Also, a couple more resort tours. I know that just stayed at the Disney Swan, and that was a lot of fun. And we're gonna hit a couple more resorts this month. And then after that, who knows? If you have requests, just leave it there in the comments. We'll be glad to get back for you or get back to you. Thanks for joining me. Glad you did. If you liked what you saw today, make sure you subscribe. And if you hated what you saw today, blame doctor's appointments for ruining my day at Disney. Thanks for watching. Keep the parks clean.